Hey guys, Scary Stories here. Hope you're doing well. Tonight, we have a pretty good one for you. This one involves two friends who just moved into a new house. It's got everything you need for a good spooky story. There's scratching on the doors, mysterious footsteps in the hallways, burning sage, kitties. There's even, and this is the best part, a mysterious, locked attic. What's up there? I don't know. But that's what our protagonist was wondering too, as he was dealing with this haunting. I won't spoil too much for you, and I'll let you figure it out for yourself. But before we get into the story, I just want to quickly say, if you enjoy creepy stories about aliens, UFOs, cryptids, stalkers, all things just a little unsettling, I try to post videos just like this one every Thursday and Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'd love it if you would join me for them, and maybe consider hitting that little red button down below. Anyways, let's get into the story. I hope you enjoy. So the noises really began about a month ago after I moved in. Subtle wouldn't even be a good word to use to describe them. My roommate Eric noticed them first. He'd be home, working on his computer in his room, and he'd hear me walking down the hall to his door. Slow, measured footfalls from boots, echoing on the hardwood floors, coming down the hall from my end and stopping right outside his door. I'm sure I don't need to point out to you that I wasn't even home when this happened. I started hearing the sounds as well, though. Sometimes the boots in the hallway, sometimes the doors closing in on other parts of the house. It was weird as hell and kind of freaky, but apparently harmless, so we just kind of ignored it. Eric sent a message to one of the girls who lived there before us, and he asked if they'd ever noticed anything strange. She knew immediately what he was hinting at. Okay, so we have a ghost. It's like a pet you don't need to feed, right? Aside from wondering if it's watching you in the shower or, there wasn't any real problems with it. We figured he lived in the attic. Our landlord, a dubious fellow known only as Joe, told us that we were never, ever to go up into the attic. Ever. We said sure, with every intention of breaking in there anyways. But, we were kind of lazy. And we did have short attention spans, so it just never happened. But we figured that if there was a dead body anywhere, it'd probably be in the attic. A few months later, I woke up for work on a Tuesday morning, and I felt awful. I'm used to feeling terrible in the morning, but felt cheated since I hadn't gone out the night before, and I even went to bed pretty early. My roommates had gone out the night before, and I had the whole place to myself, so I enjoyed uninterrupted DVD time. It wasn't fair. I should feel good, but I didn't. Basically, my throat hurt. Not like I'm getting sick kind of hurt. It was just sore and achy. I didn't think anything of it, since I'm very active and usually have a plethora of unexplained aches and pains. So I got up, threw some clothes on, took a piss, and headed to work. As the morning went on, my throat hurt more and more. I stopped by a bathroom to check it out. The first thing I noticed was the scratches on my face. I had a large gash running diagonally across my nose. 2 more long scratches on the left side of my face, and a couple small nicks on my forehead. I don't have nails, I'm a compulsive biter, so I didn't really know what was going on. Still, I figured I must have somehow mangled myself in my sleep. Apparently I was also choking myself, since there were bruises forming on my throat. Mildly disturbed, I posted a thread about how I must subconsciously hate myself, since this was obviously an attempt to end my joyful existence. During the thread, someone jokingly pointed out how it was obviously a ghost attack. I actually got chills at that remark. I knew it was a joke and I laughed it off, but I had completely forgotten about the attic. A friend of mine didn't laugh it off, though, when I tried to explain what happened to my face. She came over with a bundle of sage and burned it in every corner of the house. She instructed us to burn it at least once a month, as it supposedly would keep out bad spirits. Well, the noises stopped after that, so, like all clever people, we forgot to burn the sage going forward. A couple months later, I got home from work about the same time as my roommate. We went out to the grocery store together, and no, we're not dating. And as we were coming back to the house, we were hit by this unbelievably horrible stench. It smelled like bad Chinese food had been rotting for a week in the sun. It was overpowering. We looked through the house, but couldn't find anything that possibly could have caused it. We opened the windows and put some fans by them facing out. And after a couple hours, it almost faded completely. Good enough for us. I went out that night. Eric stayed in. I got home at about 2 a.m. The house was dark, but I didn't bother turning any lights on. I walked around the house for a few, putting stuff away, getting a snack, etc., etc. I figured Eric would be asleep since he usually yells some obscenities at me when I get home. After about 5 minutes of me walking around, I hear this rather hesitant voice call my name. It came from behind Eric's door. I answer, and then hear some furniture being moved away from the back of the door. Eric's a pale kid, but I could see his veins, he was so white. What he told me was this. Around midnight, he was on the computer in his room when he hears scraping at his door. My cat Miles does this all the time. Kitty fishing, we call it. He'll dive at a door, thrust his paws underneath, and scrabble vainly for any treats. So he gets up and opens the door, but no cat. He looks around and finds Miles asleep under the covers in my room. Odd. Back to the computer, shuts the door again. A few minutes later, the same thing happens. This scratching at the door. But it's higher up than a cat could reach. After a bit, it quiets down, and then stops. And then he hears the boots treading down the hall. They stop right outside his door. Then they knock. He called out my name, but hears no reply. That's when the knocking turns to pounding. Bang, 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 bang. Then silence. This is when Eric told me that he got scared and moved the bookshelf in front of his door. After hearing this, we burned a whole lot of sage throughout the house, which once again put an end to the occurrences. The story is not exactly done yet, though. We kept the sage burning routine going for a bit, but I wanted to find out what was in the attic. It was driving me crazy at this point. The more I talked about it on the forums, the more my curiosity was getting to me. I had to know. The most common sounds were boot falls. They always seemed to originate from my closet right outside my room and end at Eric's room, which was at the opposite of the hallway. My closet isn't really a closet. It's actually a stairway leading to the attic. My landlord had to put a door in about 6 steps up and hung a curtain rod to make a very rudimentary closet. Yeah, suspect. I had to know what was going on up there, and I knew I could break through the locks pretty easily. Eric wanted nothing to do with it, but I sure as fuck wasn't going up there alone. I enlisted the help of a couple friends. We picked a Sunday afternoon to do it, planning to start at around 1 or 2 p.m. so that there'd be plenty of light. Of course, my idiot friends didn't come over till 4 p.m. It took another hour to get through the lock. We entered the attic around dusk, armed with knives, swords, and lots of sage. We even brought an oven mitt, which I can't really remember why I brought. We were expecting storage boxes, furniture, clothing. It would make sense that the landlord wouldn't want us going up there through someone else's belongings. We didn't really expect to find a body, although we actually kind of did. But this is what we found. A chair. A single chair. It was sitting directly above Eric's room, sitting right in front of the big window overlooking the neighborhood. And it was a pretty nice view, actually. So, what'd you think of that one? Real ghost haunting? Or just two college kids getting into each other's heads, freaking each other out? With the help of a little kitty, of course. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have you ever heard any footsteps in your house when you were apparently all alone? What about any mysterious knockings? You open the door and nobody there. I saw this one funny ghost video the other day, and this guy's trying to study, he's trying to get his work done, and there's knocking at the bedroom door. And he tells us, he's like, I'm telling you, this guy won't leave me alone. It's annoying at this point. And he runs over to the bedroom door. And there's nobody there. Runs out into the hall. Shows the camera around, looks in the other rooms, nothing. He's more annoyed than anything because this ghost just won't leave him alone. Something about low IQ ghosts only knowing one trick. Maybe I'll throw it in at the end of this video and show you guys, but...
Okay, so I'm literally home alone. Listen to how loud and aggressive it is. The house, and every few seconds there's another... Shit! Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here! Okay, so I'm trying to get ready for bed. And there's another one. It's so fucking nothing. Right. Everyone's been asking me to try and knock back. Fuck. You fucking dick.
I'll pin it down below or put it in the description or something like that so you can go over and watch it. It's funny. It's good. But anyways, I'll leave it there for now. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night, and I hope you're doing well. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.